Hello everyone, well, this is Bad Reactor, and you are watching my WoW Classic stream, The Tale of Zelos, where my paladin Zelos makes his way through the world of Warcraft. So, before I get started, I'm going to preface this episode with I had to call out of work today because my car wouldn't start. Turns out the motor is bad. So I'm going to be doing some car shopping this weekend. Yeah, just a little bit of a hiccup in life. It happens. It's 11 years old. Anyway, so I've done a lot of stuff off camera. Off stream. Quick recap. I finished Teldrassil. I've pretty much finished Elwyn. There's a few like level 7 quests I skipped over. I'm level 14, so if there's no ability in Classic to display lower level quests, so it's whatever. I just said screw it. Right now I am on my level 13 Paladin quest to learn the redemption spell so I can resurrect my mage should he die. So I've got him sitting in Goldshire, and I am currently back on Hero's Vigil killing Defias for a script. I thought it was a book, it's just a script. So, welcome.
I can't cast that yet.
And of course, the first Defias I kill on camera, I get it. I've already killed like 4 or 5. Ooh, and some copper ore has spawned behind me. So I'm going to go to the north end of Hero's Vigil and grab this copper ore sticking up out of one of the hills. And my mining has increased to 50, which means next time I'm in a city, I can train to be a journeyman miner. Still not high enough to get tin yet. Tin and mining, smelting tin and smelting copper and tin into bronze are level 65, so got a little bit left until I get there. This guy's... Oh, I have to take this script back to Stormwind. So even though I rezzed this guy, he's back on the ground. So I'm making my way back to Goldshire, swimming across Stonecairn Lake once more, as if I didn't do that enough times yesterday. And yeah, basically, the only major things you missed in Elwyn was I killed Murlocs in the camp on the eastern shore of the lake for one quest, and I gathered the Null armbands and killed Hogger on the southwestern edge of the zone. Then I finally discovered the whole map. Yeah. The main thing I knocked out today was Teldrassil. I had most of Elwyn done on stream, so I'm not too worried about what you guys didn't see. Obviously, playing a Pally and a Mage, Hogger went down fast, and the Null armband drop rate was pretty low. I needed 8 on each character. So I was lucky on Zelos. I got 8 relatively quickly. But Bad Reactor, it took me about 25 minutes to get 8 for him. And the Nulls were, even though there were lots of people around, the Nulls were responding really slow. So that's why it took so long. Anyway, I've made it back to the road south of Tower of Azora, and I'm heading west back towards Goldshire, where I will join my mage, and together we will go back up to Stormwind. And then, as I said before, now that Elwyn is done, except for, like, I think 3, maybe 4 quests, but it's whatever. Now that Elwyn's done, I'm going to go to Darkshore, one of my absolute favorite zones, and you'll see why when I get there. I will describe it. It is wonderful. I love it. I'm kind of sad that I didn't get to describe Teldrassil on stream, but I can do that when I get to Darnassus. There's one quest that I missed there. It's a quest that drops off of a rare spawn. Obviously, with so many people here, it is incredibly hard to find rare spawns. I found one, the spider in the back of the Jangalode mine. Or, not the Jangalode, Jasperlode mine. I don't know what Jangalode is. I'm just making stuff up. I'm making up locations in Warcraft. Go me.
Looking for something.
Yeah, I'm stopping at a... Ooh, how does this look? I got a few add-ons, mostly because these... No, I'll keep the green ones. I got a few add-ons just to make things easier. I did use add-ons in Vanilla WoW.
Safe travels.
Obviously, one of my favorites, which is still a little buggy, is CT mod, because unlike the standard UI, which displays the buff icons in the upper right-hand corner up here by the minimap, CT mod shows the time duration remaining on each buff or debuff. So it's at a glance, you know, especially as a paladin, because blessings only last 5 minutes and seals only last 30 seconds. It's a huge plus to be able to see at a glance how long you have left until you have to refresh your blessings. Here's my mage, and we're heading to Stormwind. I've also been, I knocked out my mage's class quest from, I think, level 10, 11, whatever. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of trade skill stuff. I picked up fishing because there's a fishing quest in Aberdeen, so I'll probably actually do that off screen, because fishing this game, it's a little better now in the live game, but fishing in vanilla is very slow. It, especially at lower levels or in a new area that you haven't leveled up to, you often fail to catch anything. Yeah, and it's like a 20-second cast, and it's easiest for me to just sit there and fish when I'm watching something. Just turn off the music, turn off the ambient sounds, crank up the volume so I can hear it, and just just watch shows and fish. So I'm not gonna do that fishing quest on stream, but I guarantee by tomorrow my fishing should be over 100, because that quest is time consuming. But obviously I want my tiger, so I'm knocking out as many Darnassus reputation quests as I possibly can find, because the tigers are baller. I got Blessing of Wisdom. I had about 70 silver a little while ago. I was finally able to, you know, train fishing, train all the rest of my spells up through my current level, which is great because now I have Lay on Hands, which really helps in a pinch. It uses all of my mana and heals a friendly target equal to my health. Now, if I had a priest with me instead of a mage, that might be better, because then I'd have Blessing of Fortitude. Actually, I don't know if Blessing of Light, or I don't know if Lay on Hands takes into account increased health from buffs. But oh well. I raised enchanting a little bit on my mage. I have gotten a few greens, so I've been able to disenchant, which means I've been able to get the materials to actually enchant things. So I've got my bracers enchanted with extra defense. Yeah, ready to lock and load, kill some bad guys, do some stuff. And now I'm making my way back to Gasm Tenorm. I always think Dithorian Rawl for some reason. He's not a paladin trainer in the Cathedral of Light, but he's like the main guy you talk to for paladin quests. So he leaves a strong impression because he's right here on the corner. But the guy I need to talk to is up here by the altar at the back of the cathedral, next to the ornate wooden table with a design in the middle.
What can
He's
I
a
do
dwarf.
for ya?
He says, "Is Hen safe, Zelos? Were you successful? Between your skill with a weapon and the power of the light, I'd imagine Hero's Vigil is safe from any defiant threat. But that's for the king and his advisors to say." I hand him the script. "Wonderful! You made it and saved Hens. The light is with you for sure, Zelos. I'll take the scripts to the king's advisors after Dithorian's taken a look at them. But in the meantime, you should go speak to Dithorian now. He'll be wanting to pat you on the back for sure. Thank you again, Zelos. I hope we meet again. You'll surely be an ally I'm proud to call a friend."
Watch your back.
And like I said before, here he's sending me back to Dithorian Rawl.
What can I do for you?
You've done well this day, Zelos. You should take some pride in what you've accomplished. Even more so, you should be proud of your abilities. Not everyone can use the power of the symbol of life. Calling upon the light to bring back the dead means you're prepared for one of the Paladin's greatest honors, the power of resurrection. You shall have the power to bring back fallen companions, much like you did for Hens. Be well, Zelos. The light shines upon you, and you should welcome it wholly.
Go with honor, friend.
And with that, I have learned redemption. I will put it over here off to the side, and I can bring people back to life with minimal health and mana, which is still pretty awesome. But that's rank 1. Once I get up to rank... actually, while I'm here, I can look at what rank does the most health and mana.
King's honor, friend.
Get rid of that. Redemption, rank 5. 600 health and 800 mana. So, I mean, once you actually get up to 60, I think that's about the same percentage.
Light bless you.
It's whatever. Yeah, spells were great back in vanilla, I tell ya. Alright, and now we make our way out of the Cathedral of Light.
I don't have a target.
And back to the trade district. I don't know why I had my mage follow me, because now I have to make sure he follows me back. That's the only part of dual boxing I don't like, having to keep track and make sure my second character is still following. Sometimes they'll get stuck on like a log or a rock or the side of a wall, or like here if I cut a hard left, he got stuck on the edge of the bridge a little bit. It's not the most intuitive, but it works. I mean, if I didn't auto-run so much, if I did just keyboard running, I suppose I could map, I could get rid of the exceptions to the cloning of the different keyboard keys, but I'd have the characters on top of each other, but I'd still have to keep a close watch. It's a double-edged sword. But here we go. So now we are finished over in the human area for now. I have one quest in Darkshore already from Teldrassil, sending me to the Grove of the Ancients, which is about the middle of Darkshore. No, 2/3 of the way down, 2/3 of the way south from the top of Darkshore. I guess that's the best way to put it.
Be careful.
And I'm going to fly to Menethil Harbor, or I could take the boat, because the boat's the place to go. Trying to coerce some IRL friends into joining. My friend was playing Destiny, or Destiny 2, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Play Classic. All the cool kids are doing it. It's the cat's pajamas. Is it the cat's pajamas though? I don't know. I should put pajamas on my cats. Ooh, that'd be cool. The Zelos flies out of Elwyn. He comes across Black Rock Mountain, a giant mountain with lava streaming down the sides and a stone bridge going from the south end of the pool of lava into a stone archway within the mountain. This is like a level 50 something zone, so we won't be there a while. Just quite a while. It's fine. And now we're flying through Searing Gorge. Guess what? In the middle of Searing Gorge is a large gorge. A big, deep hole in the ground, spanning a good chunk of the zone, with large cranes for hauling all that ore. The Dark Iron Dwarves are around there. It's hard to describe some stuff while flying because one, you can't stop the griffin. And after we leave Searing Gorge through the north, we get to Dunmorrow, where my gnome started off. In fact, there's the Goldshire equivalent. It's called Caranos. There's a recipe there for beer-basted boar ribs. They're pretty tasty. Any kind of boar ribs you have to cook with beer, I imagine, would be very delicious. And then off in the distance we can see Ironforge, a large dwarven city built into a mountain. But we're not stopping there. Actually, I haven't shown Ironforge on this stream yet. Whoops. It's fine. I'm going to probably end up setting my Hearthstone there relatively soon to save that little bit of copper when I'm flying to Menethil Harbor. I left it set in Stormwind until I was done in Elwyn, but obviously I'm done in Elwyn, so it's time to move on. Yeah. And here, along the eastern side of the mountain that houses Ironforge, is the Ironforge airfield, where you can see dwarven tanks, dwarves fighting trolls, and of course, a long runway with a small plane on it. This is one of the cooler areas in the game that's technically inaccessible through normal means. At some point I will make a video about getting up there after I remaster the wall jumping required to get up there. And of course, as we head down the northern side of the mountain from the airfield, there's the nice little farm area overlooking the wetlands, which is really fun to just hang out in. And yeah, once I get Divine Shield, I will definitely be making a trip there, because it's just a lot of fun. I think my youngest brother said he came over through the shortcut, so he hopped over Ironforge to get to Teldrassil, which is what I sometimes do. I didn't do it this time because I like punishing myself by doing a corpse run throughout the wetlands. I'm in luck. The boat to Aberdeen is here. It's probably going to pull off right before I reach the end of the dock. There are two boats in Menethil Harbor. There's the boat to Aberdeen in Darkshore off to the right. Then over there to the left is a dock which has a boat. Oh, no, oh, no, yes! You guys couldn't see that on my other monitor, but my mage got caught up right there on the edge of the boat as the boat was pulling out. So I almost left him behind. But the other boat goes to Theramore, home of Jaina Proudmoore, and the other Kultirans who stay there on Kalimdor in that stronghold. That, however, is a level 30-something zone, so it'll be there. It'll be a while before I get there. It's fine. This Night Elf Hunter, also on the boat, just brushed up against his pet cat and farted. Welcome to Classic.
I don't have a
And
target.
with that, welcome to Darkshore. An overcast sky in the thick fog covers the zone. As we pull up to the dock, we see some murky water with animals resembling the real-life Loch Ness monsters swimming around underneath. And actually, I'm going to swap over to my other account real quick because it is best to see this on with the classic settings. Because the water here, it's more of a ripple effect. It's more choppy. Like, I don't know how many people watching have actually played WoW or when they've played. This is the new water. It's calmer. That's my big criticism of the water here. It's not like real water. There's no waves. Warcraft has a lot of oceans on Azeroth, but there's no waves on the water. It's just kind of always still along the shoreline. But you can see here it's nice and clear. You can see the bottom with gentle ripples, whereas in the original water graphics settings, it's much more ripples, a lot more light reflection. The new water effects do have reflection, but it's more like real water, where if it's still, you can see the horizon reflected in the water, whereas the old graphics is just there's no reflection at all. It's just you can see in the water a little bit. It's obscured by the light reflection, and it has that very old school graphic sort of grid to it where you can see the pattern repeating. It's very it's a change that I was glad they got away from, but still just watching. Oh, and there on the other side of the dock you can see the boat that goes to Teldrassil pulling up. Aberdeen has one very long dock. It's kind of shaped like a cross, and I can't zoom on the old map. Dang, a lot has changed in 15 years. But the very end, there's nothing. On the north side is the boat to Teldrassil. On the south side is the boat back to Menethil Harbor. And I just followed my mage off the edge of the dock. That's fine. I'm going to just let Zelos auto swim, and I'm going to run down the dock on my mage because he's got short little mage legs. Wait for me, I've got the little baby legs. That was a Robot Chicken reference for anyone who got that. Super proud. And here we come up to Aberdeen in all of its glory. And by glory, I mean dank, sort of almost diseased looking, a stark contrast to the beauty that is Teldrassil. The trees are like a tainted, dim green color, and with some purple colors. Most of them are pine. Yeah, and over here, actually, let me get Zelos up here because that's the client that I'm running the sound on. Because this guy, this quest giver, one of the best sounds in the entire game. I can't remember if he does it initially or not.
What brings you here?
In the aftermath of the battles at the Well of Eternity, I heard that Ameth Aran had been destroyed, its people dead, including my love, Anaya. I would never have thought, thousands of years later, that memories of Anaya would still haunt my dreams. Wandering the woods of Darkshore in a stupor, I found myself in the ruins of Ameth Aran, where I saw the haunted spirit of my beloved. She must be freed, but I lack the heart to do it. Her spirit must be destroyed.
The next we meet.
Okay, he won't make the sound, I think, until I hand the quest in. This is... He's so sad. He really is. He's a sad sack. But it's still one of my favorite sounds from vanilla. The lanterns here give off a bright blue glow, which cuts through the dimness of the zone. All the colors here are very muted. The trees aren't just a dim green, they're almost like an olive green. It's just the ambience and the atmosphere of this zone is just a stark... You go to Teldrassil and it's like bright, beautiful colors and soothing music, and you get here and it's just very dim. And then when we get to Ashenvale, it'll be bright colors and beautiful night elf architecture and all that again. Here, it's the same night elf toolkit, but the colors they used on the buildings are just dim and dark, and it's just, Actually, he just did it. He just did it on his own. I don't know if you could hear that crying in the distance, but oh my gosh. I'm gonna jump down and accept the quest from Gubber Blump.
Get for you today.
You have any idea what he's a reference to? Do ya? Maybe?
I've the finest wares in the land.
I hear he has the finest wares in the land. He doesn't have anything useful
What
for
can
me.
I do for you?
I love fishing! The Blump family is known for fishing. My name is Gubber Blump. I fish. There's a kind of fish I like to catch around these parts called dark shore grouper. I used to go out on a boat to fish for grouper, but no boats have been going out since them mean old Murlocs moved in. I bet they've been eating up all the grouper too. Say, you want to help me catch dark shore grouper? I'll give you a bona fide Blump family fishing pole if you did. It's a real good pole to catch fish with. That fishing pole increases fishing by 3,
See you soon.
which is a huge help. And you can see here all these poor saps working on doing it. Do they know how long they're going to be at it? They have no idea. We make our way back into the building at the end of the dock, which is the inn. Wow. A quaint little... Well, it's the second biggest building in town. I can't really say it's quaint or little. Over here we have Sentinel Glinda Nalshay.
Ishnuala.
Hostile moonkin roam in ever-increasing numbers to our east. They once were thought to be gentle, almost mystical creatures. While some continue to hold reverence for them, the safety of Aberdeen forces me to keep a more realistic view. I've received reports that moonkin are being drawn to a large red crystal along Darkshore's eastern mountain range. No one has any idea what that crystal is, or even if it really exists. I want you to locate it over there and report back to me what you find.
Goddess watch over you.
I say I got that voice spot on. Totally, 100%.
I don't have a target.
Also, I think it's time for a joke, don't you?
A duck walked into an apothecary and he said, "Give me some chapstick and put it on my bill."
Human jokes. I'm not high enough for that quest. That's fine. Here we have the general trade supplier, Gorbold Steelhand.
What's on your mind?
Not much. Just chilling. A level 17 quest, which is gonna take a while. Oh shoot! This is the Murloc ones... These 2 ships he's sending me to are just swarming with Murlocs. Water combat and Murlocs. Hooray. Off to the coast of Darkshore, to our north, are 2 wrecked ships. The Silver Dawning and the Mistvale. Some time ago, both ships ran afoul of the blasted Murlocs as they sailed across the vast sea into Aberdeen. They now lie in the bottom of the ocean as trophies for these fiends. Both captains didn't make it that night, and their logs and other effects are still below in lockboxes. I'd like for you to recover them for us. It would mean a lot to the crew members still around these parts.
Be good.
I will be good, sir. I will be good. And then we go into the largest building of Aberdeen, where 2 more quests are.
Ishnu Daldia.
This one's from Alandaria Night Song. Do you smell that delicious meat aroma? It's my secret recipe, Zelos. Fresh Strider stew. Delicious. Perhaps you would be interested in learning the recipe. Before I teach you the recipe, you will need to prove that you can handle the beasts. Now, I don't expect you to go out and tame one and ride it back to me. But if you can kill a few and bring back some of their succulent meat, I may be persuaded to show you the ways of Strider stew.
Be careful.
And my cooking on my mage is not high enough. Ugh, why is this... Oh, hey, look, I can switch to the WoW UI. That's convenient. I like that. Yeah, my cooking on my mage is 1, so I think that's why she's not giving him the quest. That's fine. Anyway, we come over to the guy at the end of this building. This building is like almost a plus sign. Short in the front, and then 2 on the sides, and then 1 like dock looking one. It's I mean, it looks like a dock here because we're on the edge. Actually, I think most of this particular building model are built like on the edge of something.
Peace be with you.
Thunderous Windweaver. Dark forces encroach upon our borders. Ancient taints resurface, and new evils emerge to topple the delicate balance of the land. In times of such darkness, we must be vigilant. The ruins of Bashal Aran to the east are overrun with demonic minions. The sprites and satyrs that have taken up residence in the area feed upon the magical energies of the area, their powers growing from continued exposure. Even with that, I've noticed that there is one shrine that they will not approach. On the western side of the ruins, atop a small bluff, a strange blue aura permeates. There must be an explanation to the demon's reluctance. I would like you to investigate it.
May the stars guide you. Ishnu
And
Allah.
another quest, Tools of the Highborn. Paladin, a task I would ask of you. Have you seen the ruins of Amatharan? Yes, I have. Another guy wants me to go there. If not, you will find them on the eastern side of the main road, some ways to the south. Once they were the home of many powerful Highborn. Now they are a testament to the destruction their dabblings produced. I have been told by the Sentinels that the spirits of the Highborn persist, and that they wield their ancient magical implements. Those relics must be appropriated, so that we might destroy them.
Farewell.
And for any not familiar with Warcraft lore, before the world was torn asunder by the Legion invading Azeroth through the Well of Eternity, and the 2 continents, well, the 1 continent split into several, primarily in vanilla, Eastern Kingdoms on the east and Kalimdor on the west, but, you know, later on Northrend in the north and then Pandaria in the south, the Night Elves used to have mages known as the Highborn. After the Sundering, because they did not want the Legion coming back, because the Legion is drawn to arcane magic, the Night Elves cut off the Highborn that still practice the arcane arts. So that's why Night Elves cannot be mages. And in the phase where they introduce Dire Maul, we will actually... I mean, the NPCs might be there now, but in Dire Maul there's a faction, the Chandrilar, who are Highborn, they're Night Elves who have continued practicing the arcane. But they're obviously in exile from the rest of Night Elf society. So a lot of mention of the Highborn is kind of, you know, the Night Elves don't look too highly on them for the most part.
I don't have a target.
Anyway, that's your tidbit if you're not familiar with Warcraft. If you're not familiar with Warcraft, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoy. I'm making my way out of that building. And I want to say, if memory serves correctly, there should be, yes, another quest at the building to the south of that, near the exit of Aberdeen. A Night Elf named Tharnarium Tree Tender.
How may I help?
If you haven't noticed, when it comes to Night Elves, there's like a nature theme. A sickness spreads across the dark shore, gripping the minds and bodies of all it touches. The thistlebearers have been hit the hardest by this plague. The once noble beasts are now an instrument of destruction, rabid and frenzied. I may have a cure for this ailment. Take this trap to the forest and lay it on the ground. Any rabid thistlebear that crosses the light shall become docile for a short time. Once the bear is docile, it shall follow you. Lead it back here, Zelos.
Goddess, watch over you.
I can't
And
attack
inside this building is
How may I help?
one quest I can't get yet, and another from Terenthus, who is accompanied by his white bear named Grimclaw. Zelos, I've come to find how rampant the effects of Felmos are throughout Darkshore. The corruption of Teldrassil and our surrounding lands really concerns the druids of the Stenarian Circle and all Night Elves. It is my hope to find out why this has happened and to put an end to it. He has a quest for me. Some of my brethren were rescued from a corrupt Furbolg in Teldrassil, and I've vowed to stop any more atrocities before more of our kind are injured, or worse. I have seen a couple hints of corruption in Darkshore already, but I have yet to find any widespread signs. I think it would be logical if the investigation continued with the Furbolgs. Would you find one of their camps and return to me if you see any signs of corruption?
Good luck, friend.
I will. I will definitely do that, sir.
I can't attack that target.
And we go up this ramp in this building to Sentinel Alyssa Starbreeze.
Hello.
I'm gonna have some water first, and okay. Hail, young human. I am Alyssa Starbreeze, and it is my charge to protect Aberdeen from harm. To this end, I sent Bethul Shadowstrike to observe the strange happenings around the Tower of Althalax to the northeast. It is past time that he should have returned. I worry that he has encountered some unforeseen danger in the forest. I would be most appreciative if you would find him and see that he is doing well.
Farewell.
Alright, the Tower of Alphalax. That is all the way. So, like I said before, Aberdeen, or Darkshore, is a very long zone. Aberdeen is just above halfway up to the top. Down here, around this water, is the Grove of the Ancients, where I already had a quest. So it's going to be a while before I get down there. Yeah, it should just be south of it. In fact, this... I want to say it actually goes all the way down here. I will know once I discover more of the map. Obviously, the zone... This is one of the zones that changed the most in the Cataclysm, which I was very upset about. It was still a good zone. It had some good story. It had the first hint of a demon hunter. It was the first... the first non-Illidari demon hunter in the game. The first was obviously Illidan, Stormrage, and Burning Crusade. So, but I really prefer it this way, just looking kind of slightly diseased, spoopy. There should be, aha! A quest that I ran right past. See, this is why you walk around town a few times before you actually start doing stuff. By Barathas Moonshade. He's got a quest for me called Cave Mushrooms. Are they good mushrooms? I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. I'm devising a potion that requires rare mushrooms. Mushrooms that grow only in a certain cave. The cave lies behind Cliffspring Falls, to the east and slightly north along the mountains. I would go there myself, but I was advised by the Grove of the Ancients to stay away from that place. Our venerable allies sense that the cave is the hiding place for a new evil in Darkshore. Please, Zelos, gather the mushrooms for me, and while doing so, scout the cave to confirm the Ancients' fears.
Go in peace.
Alright. Go into a cave.
I don't have a target.
Go into a cave! Mushrooms! Mushrooms! That was a SpongeBob reference, if you didn't catch that. Except, I'm not going to the moon. I'm going to a cave. And now, in the top level of the inn, which I skipped before because I came up from the shore, there's a gnome! Whiz Bang Krang Toggle. Hey! Help me with my latest invention, the Buzzbox. You can talk to people far away. Maybe you've already seen them. They're boxes with levers on them. The only problem is that they need constant maintenance. Each one suffers from a different problem, but I made a really smart decision. I placed each one near creatures that have the proper parts to fix that particular machine. Right now, Buzzbox 827 is on the fritz. It's just south of Aberdeen, real close. It takes 6 crawler legs to fix it. I'll pay ya.
Off and away.
I can't attack that.
Yeah. So, here we go. Do I got... My gnome got stuck.
I can't
It's
attack
fine.
that target.
This is the most people I've seen in Aberdeen in, like, ever. I am really happy with how successful WoW Classic is.
Peace be with you.
And this Night Elf lady is either a ghost or she's just stealthed and not crouching down. Ah, yes! I'm gonna jump over this campfire and go up onto this raised platform near the hippogriff trainer. Hippogriffs are kind of like griffins, but they're more streamlined. They got like a straight beak, green feathers with red along the neck and the wings with some black mixed in. And most interestingly, they've got antlers. So yeah, a giant bird with antlers who could probably peck your face off, as opposed to the traditional griffin. In Vanilla WoW, there were 4 different types of taxis you could take. There's the traditional griffins and the hippogriffs for Alliance, and then Horde had giant bats and wind riders, which the wind riders look like lions with wings. Yeah, those are fun. Anyway, up here I've got a quest by Gwyneth Bly Legond.
What brings you here?
Worcestershire. Majestic sea creatures are known to launch themselves to the Darkshore coastline, beached there until they die. Lately, these beasts have been washing ashore in ever-increasing numbers. I've been sent here by the Temple of the Moon to investigate, but the presence of murlocs along the water has made my research difficult. There's a giant creature washed ashore just south of Aberdeen that is ringed by the foul grey mist murlocs. Could you go there and retrieve bones from the creature for our study?
Illumined like the world.
Now, this is just another reason I love Darkshore, because this lady has this quest, which teaches you about the beach sea creatures. However, when trying to gain rep here, there's the one here south of Aberdeen, but there's another like 3 up the coast north of Aberdeen, and another like 2 or 3 further south down Darkshore. So they're just interactable objects that offer quests, and you know, when you're looking to gain a specific reputation, you have to keep an eye out for stuff like that. That's just the best way to do it. Anyway, I believe that is every quest offered here in Aberdeen at the moment. So I'm going to head up to Bashilaran. I'm not gonna take the regular road out. I'm gonna cut around this house to the south and just meet up with the road. Hooray! I've discovered Darkshore. And already people are capitalizing on the difficulty of fishing by selling the Darkshore groupers for that quest. Which, you know, wasn't a thing that happened back in the day. So I'm heading north up the road from Aberdeen. Off to the right, I can see the Moonkins. The Moonkins are... How do I describe a Moonkin? They're large, fat, burly creatures, completely covered in feathers. They have a beak like a parrot. They have necklaces, a lot of them have necklaces of bone around their necks. And, you know, their wings are mostly arms with like feathers on the edge, on like the back. So they're not really usable wings because they're so large. And like most other night elf things, they have antlers. And if you ever get an item that transforms you into one, just like the ogres, druids can have a moonkin form. So ogres and moonkin share the same dance because they're both tall, large creatures with large bellies. And if you've ever seen the Saturday Night Live sketch with Chris Farley and Patrick Swayze, the Chippendales sketch. They do the Chris Farley dance, which is outstanding, and it's obviously one of the best dances anything can do in game. So I'm making my way up the road north of Aberdeen, passing the graveyard, an important place to note because you always want to know which graveyard you're going to end up at and how long your ride back, your walk back is going to be. And off to the right here is Bashal Aran. Which is basically a ruined night elf encampment. A city. It's full of sprites. And at the top of the hill, you can see a small night elf pagoda. I guess that's the best way to describe it. With a glowing blue ore in the middle. And a night elf named Asterion. Ah! To what could I possibly owe the exceedingly special honor of a human such as yourself as company? Truly it says much of my current companions, with no offense to my host, the noble Grells and Satyrs, that your presence could be considered an improvement. But please, do not let my uncivil tongue drive you from this place. It has indeed been many years, decades even, since I had civil accompaniment. If I were to relate the story of my life, I have no doubt it would surpass the limits of your patience. Let us say that mine has been a long and painful life. And this spectral form is perhaps the worst torment of all. I am held here by the means of magic. Though my words may seem disingenuous, I assure you I would be grateful beyond words if you would help me find the means of my imprisonment. A seal binds me, and by examining the earpieces of the sprites and grells, I may find a trace of it. He wants me to acquire 8 grell earrings.
It's too far away.
So, I'm going to go around these runes and fight some grells.